Ahoy, listeners! Welcome to the Yonko Podcast with me, Alex Chuan, and our crew, Burke and Brock. We've got a special guest standing in for Ryan today. Welcome, James! Today, we're reviewing Chapter 1011, that's 10,011, folks, featuring a continuation of the rooftop scene, a brutal betrayal, and some overly cute Otama scenes, along with some good old hijinks with Usopp and Nami. Let's jump right in and let's set sail! Chapter 12!
What?
Is next week. Chapter 1011 is this week.
Also, it's 2 weeks from now.
Oh gosh, yeah, come on, Oda.
You're
but like,
this.
It's Golden Week, isn't it?
I think it is.
I could have sworn that's what it was.
I know.
Anyway.
I know they got some very colorful cover art for us.
I really like the color spread this week.
Why is Nami so large?
Because she's getting some of that Black Maria energy and she's eating her ice cream.
All I know is that Sanji had to cook a lot for this to happen.
Yeah.
He made a lot of ice cream.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So Nico, Robin, and Jinbei confirmed.
Are you guys a big fan that like Oda hides?
Are you shipping those two?
I kind of ship them. Been shipping them ever since they've been hanging out since the beginning of the raid. Obviously now Robin's fighting Black Maria, but
with Brooke, Robin confirmed.
No.
She likes them bones.
Hey, he's a bony boy.
She does have a morbid sense of humor.
Do you guys feel like Oda hides things in these, or is that just fan?
I think it's mostly
stuff.
He might hide things in these, but I don't think they have like any.
Like, what does Sanji's shirt say? It's like Cambar.
In all seriousness, I love the color of the ice cream that Nami's eating. It looks fantastic.
It looks like a really fantastic sorbet type.
Look at that Oreo and cinnamon stick. Okay, anyway, sorry.
We are not sponsored by Oreo.
What? Well, whatever.
Also, is it just me or is Usopp looking ripped in that?
He is ripped.
Oh my goodness
Usopp
gracious.
Got ripped.
Have you seen him?
No, I know. His whole training with Herculean, but you don't see him with like out clothes on very often, so it's kind of interesting.
We're not here to review color spreads all day.
Very nice color spread, though.
It's a very good one.
All right, we're starting off with Kid and Killer. Now, this is cool because we all thought we'd cut away from the rooftop for a while. So I was very happy to find that we were still on the roof for a good bit.
Big old psych.
I was a big fan of that. Unfortunately, Ryan's not here to own up to not guessing right, because he did say that all that metal last week was going to come down, make a stage platform for Kid and Big Mom to fight on, but unfortunately,
that's what Oda does to us. He just kind of throws us for a loop. All of our theories get thrown out the window, or off of Onigashima at least. Some of them definitely do not come back.
Just like Big Mom, thrown off of the island.
But so Kid and Killer are looking down. They see something happen. What a pain.
And
she's a lively old bat.
They're horrified too. They say, "Let's scram."
Of course, it's Big Mom.
Now this is interesting because they thought they dealt with a lightning one. They were pretty sure they dealt with a lightning one, and now there's a new lightning one? Question mark. Who is Hera?
Well, that sounds like it's.
What do you mean? Who is Hera?
Who is Hera?
It's clearly one.
It's Zeus. It's Zeus's Alabama friend, obviously.
No, well, so that's the whole point. That's why I was actually making that face earlier that you were concerned about. I was literally just thinking like, so we got Zeus, we got Hera, we got Prometheus.
Can't forget Napoleon.
I'm not bringing Napoleon into this because his isn't a god name. I mean, Napoleon might have thought he was a god while he was alive.
Yeah,
but there's obviously
Zeus and Hera in Greek mythology are married.
Right.
Obviously, the notation gives us that, and they are related. But obviously, with Greek gods, that's not a problem. They just overthrew their
says you.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared, dude.
Sister and wife.
Anyway, it was the sister and wife of Zeus after they overthrew the Titans. Anyway, but now let's see what you can do. Show me your power, Hera. So this new lightning creature, homie.
Certainly, Mama.
I'm very sad we didn't see the full face.
I don't think we get that reveal yet.
No, I was gonna say we don't.
All I can say, all I can tell is that she's probably definitely gonna be more powerful than Zeus. Almost as if she's like a secret weapon that she hides for situations.
I do wonder if Hera has been around.
I am pretty sure that Big Mom just made this thing. I'm convinced.
It's not like a... Well, I mean, to be fair...
I am convinced that after Prometheus's chapter where he's like, Mama, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Because he was bagging on Zeus.
Well, yeah, Zeus
Which,
has been pretty...
don't get me wrong, Zeus was with Nami. Zeus was just not useful for a lot of things recently.
He was an adulterer.
You could honestly argue that Zeus gets clowned on more than even Big Mom sometimes.
A little bit, but I understand that more so.
I will say this is a really cool panel with Big Mom.
Oh, I
and
love
Hera.
it.
Like that's the horrifying Yonko.
No, I was gonna say this gives me a little bit less of that clowning vibe from Big Mom because she looks terrifying.
And it's a straight up headshot like there. That full gore.
Nightmare fuel right there, bud.
Straight up headshot.
I love the thought that the name is Seismic Thunder.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Also, James, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, James. Welcome.
What's up, James?
It's interesting because I think that they're trying to play off the Zeus and Hera, like Zeus always going off and being with other...
Yeah. No, that's actually straight up what it is.
Very much so, yeah.
No, I was going to say I think Brock was trying to go for that earlier.
Just a little bit. I'll just make that Alabama joke.
I do wonder if when Zeus goes back, because seemingly that's where he's going, right? The cage breaks down. He's is trying to get back to Mama. If she full on rejects him, or if there's even a conversation at that point with Zeus. Because if he feels dejected, and he is looking for Big Mom, who we find out at the end of the chapter.
Well, that's the thing. Is it was nice when Nami had Zeus.
Oh yeah, it was a
very big power boost for her.
Yeah.
And I think this will be the final straw for Zeus. If he has any free will of his own, he will be sticking with Nami after this, after seeing that, Mama replaced me.
Yeah, but to be fair, Zeus didn't do anything wrong here. He got trapped.
Not truly.
Poor guy.
Yeah. No, that's the thing, is Prometheus was being very malicious one chapter ago. Was that? Oh, no, was that last chapter or 2 chapters ago?
That was a while ago. Well, it was 2 chapters. No, it was last
These
chapter.
chapters, man, they feel like they're so long.
No, this was last chapter, because she had just fallen, and Prometheus was saying her a favor.
You're right.
Anyway, we return to Law, being a doctor, doing his doctor thing, saying, all right, gotta get these people out of here. I'll save you, Big Mom, in the castle now. Things get dicey. And it looks like 3 people pop away. I just want to confirm that's Law, that Zoro, and who's the...
So, based on what I'm seeing of the movement, it looks like Zeus.
Yeah, it is Zeus.
Because it's a floating little blip.
Yeah.
It's to prevent Big Mom from getting Zeus.
I wonder if he did that on purpose.
Well, that's what... And because I don't think Law realizes... I don't think he may have felt the tremor... But he only probably felt Big Mom going back inside. Obviously, he knows, but he doesn't know that she has a new lightning thing. So he's probably trying to keep Zeus away.
I love the little aside here where Law shows a little bit of sympathy for Zeus, like kid must have his hands full. That's just I don't know. I find that funny. I'm like.
Yeah.
Is that in reference to Zeus, or is that in reference to actual Kid and just the scans have a
Oh, no, you're right.
misspelling?
Kid
there.
must have his hands full. That'd make more sense. But I think I would be funny to consider
trust me,
that was
I would
Zeus.
love for it to be that he's referring to Zeus, but I'm pretty sure it's just the fact that Kid and Killer.
Honestly, I totally forgot that Kid was a thing at this part.
Page 7
is
so cool because now it truly is down to Captain versus Captain. It is Luffy and Kaido.
Well, also,
left on
not
the
only is it
rooftop.
Captain versus Captain, but the look on Kaido's face is like, oh my gosh, here is the challenge I've been waiting for.
Right. We finally have everyone isolated. Even Dofi didn't get an isolated fight in Dressrosa. Law was out there the whole time, wasn't he? And so was that Snot guy. Right.
Eventually there was an isolated fight.
But it seems like that's the point now. There were theories that the raid would fail and there would be all this regrouping. Right. At this point,
no.
I think this is the final battle right here with Kaido and Luffy.
The minute that Kaido lifted the island up, that's when I was like, this raid has to be successful.
So now I'm really locked into Luffy. Now it's Luffy and it's Kaido, and that's all that's up.
I'm pretty sure that's where it'll stay.
Yeah. And I love how it's almost like Kaido and Luffy are looking in a mirror, where he's like, "You're enjoying this, the greater the risk, the wider your smile."
Yeah.
And it's just that that knowing tone you see, where it's like, "I know exactly why you're smiling, man.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Let's do this."
But this also shows that Luffy is on that same level now.
Yeah.
Or at least pretty darn close, if not
it-
about
it-
to surpass.
It looks like acknowledgement without the actual words yet.
Well, it's the same thing as Katakuri, where at least Katakuri actually said it,
Right.
and like did something about it. Like say when Flampe was goofing with their fight, obviously he stabs himself to give himself the handicap. Kaido's not going to do that.
I don't think anyone's
because he doesn't need to.
I don't think anyone else is getting involved in this fight.
Nope.
Big Mom is below. She has the rest of the Straw Hats to deal with. I think
and
this is an isolated fight at this
realistically, with Zoro, we can do when he is. Luffy's the only person right now with the level to be able to handle.
Zoro did his damage.
And now he's back. He's back below.
Now,
Hopefully he gets some healing. If not, that's
he'll
fine.
probably get healing.
I'm still holding out that it is not necessarily confirmed that Zoro has conquerors yet. But if he does, he obviously still needs to temper it a bit more.
Sure.
Luffy is at least already at that point where now
he's just gotten there because he learns in the moment. He learns in the fight, and that's and we get a really beautiful Kaido Luffy.
It almost brings
nothing touching.
It was literally the Roger Whitebeard moment.
It brings you back to the Roger Whitebeard.
And
gosh. He looks like Roger in this moment.
The interesting thing, and I just assume it's just based on the perspective here, but it almost looks like the amount of output from Luffy is currently greater than the output from Kaido's club, but that's just probably a perspective thing on my part. But it's just interesting. You see more space between Luffy's foot and the crack.
Yeah. And also that crack in the air gives me some serious Whitebeard vibes. Just because Goro no Mi. I just rewatched Marineford, and gosh, it's
Gura.
Yeah, Gura.
And also just going back to the Whitebeard and Roger fight, this literally is almost
reversed.
Not even reversed. It almost looks like it because Luffy looks like Roger.
Yeah, he's got the flowing cloak.
And then he's fighting someone who's like 2-3 times his size, which is the same case for
No, I'm just saying, like, it basically is that shot reversed.
Oh, yeah.
Because the last time it was Roger coming from the left side of the panel and Whitebeard from the right.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of reversed. The only thing that's different truly now is that Luffy doesn't fight with swords.
No. Just
which
pure
is
brute
fine.
strength.
And it's not like Kaido's club is sharp enough to even cut Luffy at this point. It's always just been about the blunt trauma through the conquerors he coats it with.
Exactly.
And then we get that camera angle on the whole of Onigashima.
Oh, I love it.
That explosion on the top of the head.
I'm probably gonna say this every time we have a chapter with these kind of fights in it.
Can't wait for it to be animated.
So excited.
Right. No, very true.
It's gonna look great.
Jump back in the castle though, where a couple of supernovas have just shown up, and so has Big Mom.
Damn, we got blown way back. Where are we?
We're inside the castle, dumbass.
Yeah, legit. Like, come on.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
he just got roomed. He didn't even realize what was going on.
No.
No. That was
They didn't get roomed at all.
They didn't get.
They got
roomed.
blown
They
in
got
by
blown
Big Mom.
in by
Oh, in
Hera.
that case, that's even more shows. They just got blown back.
I know.
Yeah.
I just wish
give the kid a break.
I just wish Killer would have just said, "We're in the castle, dumbass."
But she's not good.
Shit.
You know, that's probably what the actual
see.
chapters will say.
Or the anime will say.
We'll definitely say that. I do love how quickly kids like, she's got to be downstairs. We can't let her regroup with Kaido. Like, she's gonna regroup with Kaido at this point. Like, I think
at this point, I don't think she will.
I mean, I've in her mindset, I feel like she's in the castle now. She's gonna break through everyone and get back up there.
Well,
that's her mindset.
that's true, but from their perspective, the worst thing that could happen is those two teaming up.
Right.
They want to do. They don't know her personally.
That
they want to do the best they can do to make sure she does.
They don't know her.
That last chapter where like everything that they put into like separating them, that has to mean something for this arc. So if they stay separated, that becomes very important. So yeah, that's important.
Do you predict that they ever regroup in any way?
Kaido and Big Mom?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it.
I don't see it unless it's in defeat.
Yeah, at the very end, like
them both
Kaido
knocked out.
Or Kaido is being defeated and Big Mom just arrived.
Only reason I can...
So now it's like Big Mom's about to like kill Luffy or something.
Well, that's what she wanted
I was
the entire time.
The only thing I could see it is in like that darkest moment before the dawn
Yeah.
Maybe like something goes a little bit awry on Luffy's end, and it almost seems like he's going to lose, and then
Well, that's how it goes with every chapter
That's
arc,
always how
isn't
it
it?
goes.
So
Yep.
I think we kind of expect that. So we'll see what you do, Oda. See if you surprise us again.
Here comes Basil Hawkins.
Dude, I love Hawkins' design. I love when he transforms. I really like the guy. He's one of my favorite supernovas outside of Law. Law's like probably top for me. But I just wish he wouldn't be on their side at this point.
Well, no, exactly, because it's like when he. So this monologue, or dialogue rather, he has with Kid here. So you've got balls. If you think you can get in our way, you damn rat. Referring to how they did have this partnership back when they were thinking about trying to go after Shanks.
Right.
And he says Apu had already sold us out, and like this kind of leads into a moment where I thought he would almost betray Kaido here. Defeat was inevitable, resistance futile. I made the only choice possible. It's extraordinary that you both survived. Which is like, so clearly there's some, fighting chance here if these people are still alive. And they're currently staging a pretty darn successful raid. Even if they were somehow to be defeated, I don't think they will be. Yeah. This is unprecedented on Kaido's like main base of operation.
The problem with Hawkins is he's far, far, far too invested in chance, or like in the percentages. He's
in what he thinks is like fate willing.
I mean, that's his whole magician like archetype, though, isn't it? It's just that he plays the cards, he sees how the cards go, and he works on the greater favor.
And honestly, I don't mean to. Oh, sorry, dude. What?
That kind of, I mean, he basically is the foil to him is the unpredictable chaos that Luffy and all that.
The Straw Hats.
Yeah.
Right, they rely on hope to get them through things. They rely on,
Well, they rely on themselves.
Well, I know, but like they don't care.
And
what
this
the
is
odds
gonna,
are.
and I think it's gonna show itself in a coming battle where it's gonna be
especially
the guy
here
who supposedly has fate on his side versus the ones who make their own fate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, especially here because Kid obviously can't. Killer is very aware of this right now. Kid is probably the better choice to go after Big Mom.
Right.
Yeah.
So he says, "Go on ahead. We can't let Big Mom run amok." Kid almost seems disappointed because I'm sure he wants to kill Hawkins. He's wanted to kill almost every other supernova since back on Savati. Fine, you handle it. Kid's getting away, so people are trying to follow after him. This simplifies things. I think before this, Hawkins probably had by his standards, lower odds of beating both of them.
Yeah.
So my odds of simultaneously suppressing both of you were very unfavorable. You play your part well. You've totally embraced your role as their guard dog, he says back.
Which sucks, but he's right.
It's true.
Here's it's not a tinfoil hat, but it is a hope that Hawkins is saying all this stuff in a way that seems like he's on Kaido's side, but I hope he comes around somehow.
My guess.
I really don't want him to end on that side and lose.
My guess with Basil, and only because this is a very common trope in anime, and like everyone uses it, but like it's a trope I like, is where the one who is previously overly reliant on fate and its control on people. Through defeat, gains more of an open understanding of the capacity people have for changing fate.
I mean, that's the best thing about frickin' Neji in Naruto was his whole thing was fate.
So my guess, my theory is that he will be beaten, but his eyes will be opened a bit wider.
That's the thing. He's been beaten. He's already been beaten by Law.
But he was beaten by an admiral as well. That's the other thing.
Well, there was no way he was winning.
So, like
before
that one,
the New World.
I think
it was interesting though because he said that he wasn't going to die that day, which he is right about.
Right.
He's never wrong, but whenever he is wrong, it's not that he's wrong. It's just that there's always a percentage.
I don't know if you even remember.
I think this battle will be the first time he's wrong.
What was the prediction he made when he fought Law? Do you remember?
Oh, like in Wano? I don't think he made a prediction against Law. I think because their battle was off screen. We saw them face down each other, then the next time we saw him, he was all beat up, and he was like, I did the best I could here. You clearly have the advantage, whatever. But he says...
It was definitely one of those moments where he was still following basically the statistics of the moment.
But he never gives 100% to himself or anyone. Like even here,
No,
92%. So if he loses, there was an 8% chance that Killer.
Well,
beats him.
I mean, when I said I think this is gonna be the first time he's wrong, I don't mean in this case. I mean in the case of Kaido losing.
Oh,
because I don't think he thinks Kaido can lose. At least
I think a lot of people don't think that,
Exactly,
which is the same thing that was said for Whitebeard when he took on the Navy.
He could lose for the longest time until this fight.
So I think the war itself is what's going to change his perspective.
Well, I think his odds are going to change too, as he sees everything, all the tides changing.
Can I point out?
Yeah.
No. Just kidding. What's up?
So I find it interesting. So Kamazo seemed like that was just an alter ego that Killer gave himself, but from what we're seeing here, Hitokiri Kamazo must be his full name, and then Killer obviously his moniker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's interesting because we actually find out his full name then, and that Kamazo wasn't just a pseudonym that he was.
Yeah, same as like
using when he was obviously
right.
Kamazo.
It's the same as Pirate Hunter being Rono Zoro.
It should be noted that Hitokiri means manslayer essentially.
Which Killer. Right?
Killer.
Yep.
Yeah.
So maybe the actual scan or the actual chapter.
Well, we'll see what the chapter says, but if this is the real reveal of Killer's actual name, like not only is it cool because Hitokiri means that man killer, like you said.
Yeah. And to your point, Brock, I mean, Killer literally says you're still relying on fortunes. Unlike you, we take matters into our own hands. Like that's very much the phrase of we control our own fate. We don't rely on it, right? You can only wish for luck, Killer, right? And you screw you and your luck. I'm not wishing. That's
the other thing is like at this point, I don't even think Killer's going to do his best.
Yeah,
but he's not. If he wins, great. If he dies, great. Doesn't matter as long as he does what he is trying to do right here.
I mean, if and this is kind of the OP-ness of oh geez Louise. OP. I mean, the reason that...
Do you mean OP is an overpowered?
Yeah,
or
but
just making sure.
Basil is really powerful with his fruit only because he doesn't have to take up to 10, maybe more than that now that it's New World, right? Mm-hmm. Like lethal blows. That can be the fodder around him, right? Yeah. So Killer can kill him 10 out of 10 times, and that's just 10 people around him. Then he still has to deal with him. So... honestly, the favor really should be in Hawkins' case here, just with that ability alone. Killer doesn't have...
Here's the thing that, I think it's appropriate that Killer's swords are like scythes.
Oh, yeah.
Killing some straw men here, boys.
Yeah.
Reaping what Hawkins has sown.
Look, all I'm saying is that this guy has survived Kizaru pre-time skip, so, like...
I mean, half of the supernovas did.
Well, I know.
Actually, like, all of the supernovas.
He didn't capture anyone but fodder, but that's the whole thing with Kizaru is he's weird. But still, like, if Killer can output more damage than Kizaru, that's saying something. Enough to kill. But then again, Law beat him, like, literally, like, 20 chapters ago or so. So
I'm thinking...
I don't think it's that hard of a ask.
I think the only... and this is me speaking very generally.
Sure.
I'm thinking the main thing that gives... it's just by a power scaling stance. The main thing that gives him his edge is that he's a captain and the other one's a vice captain.
Sure.
But I think the fact that they're both supernovas gives him a chance at victory.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of see this fight. And I honestly do...
also, my big thing with the captains of the supernovas is that I still think that Hawkins has always been way lower than both Kid and Law, and we know Luffy at this point is the star of the supernovas.
Oh, for sure.
Clearly.
He's the worst of the worst generation.
Well, I mean, debatable with Blackbeard.
But he's not part of it. No. Well, you're right about the worst generation, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the hijinks. But I hope that's a full fight. I hope that's not an off-screen one.
For sure.
I certainly hope so.
I'd love
to see some Killer sides.
Oof.
Chopping strawman.
I'm here for some strawman stuff. When he fought Zoro early on in Wano, I was there for that.
Yeah.
That was a good couple of chapters. Anyway, page 1 is trying to bite the butt of lion.
Lion dog.
Lion dog, which both Usopp and Nami All right, no, Tama.
Let go, you creepy lizard.
Gosh, we haven't had. I mean, we have had funny stuff since then, but like they always bring the height of comedy up there. Like,
aim for his vitals, his temple, the jaw, his Adam's apple. Try the solar plexus, his eyes, the nostrils.
The only thing they really have to
why don't you give up? Because we don't want to die.
What's that, James?
The only thing they have to rely on is tenacity.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and again, like Usopp gets knocked on really early on, pre-time skip because there's not a lot he can do personally. But, with his pop greens and, all of his training, he actually has some power. But as he mentions himself, hey, these things are not meant at close range. I'm a sniper. Like, I'm doing my best here.
Well, that's the whole thing is, right now it's in a bad spot because page 1 is so freaking close.
He's literally writing
Well, and also,
the lion dog.
Being a dinosaur fruit, he's extra tough.
So I mean, Sanji technically beat him in his raid suit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's top 3, top 4. Some would say Straw Hats.
And even then, though, it wasn't a full fight. Like
he didn't beat
he didn't
him
like
for
destroy
the
him.
Right.
He incapacitated him so he can get away.
Right.
Which I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm convinced he would have beaten him.
Yeah, if he had to, but he wasn't.
But like even then, he was able to get back up after that.
All I gotta say is don't underestimate God Usopp.
No, you can't underestimate
never.
God Usopp. But no, so I do want to examine one thing that Thomas says in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's my job to turn them into allies. It doesn't matter what happens to me after that. That's some serious Straw Hat language.
Oh, absolutely.
I do not care what happens to me. I'm gonna help and save my friends.
I would not mind her becoming the cabin girl for the Straw Hats.
Why specifically the cabin girl?
She's a child.
Look, I hated the idea of apprentices on Straw Hat ship, but I'm sorry, lines like that lead me to believe that there is a possibility that she could be an apprentice. I'm sorry. She wanted to go with Ace. Ace promised her that they'd go on adventures together when she was older.
Here's where I'm at.
Drop it.
So, Tama, Momonosuke, same age. Momonosuke becomes new shogun of Wano after Kaido's inevitable defeat.
Yeah.
Marries Tama.
Sure.
He sails on the Straw Hats like Odin before and Toki before, and they go and they find the One Piece.
But that's like...
So there you go.
That's in the future, wouldn't you say?
So that's a while.
Not necessarily.
I'm saying as an apprentice. Look, Momonosuke has to run what's left of Wano. Open the borders, do the whole New Dawn thing. Tama's just a girl from a village.
No, I doubt Momonosuke's
If you're gonna change...
Who's ruling Wano?
The samurai.
The samurai can rule Wano.
There has to be a
literally
shogun.
did.
Oh, come on.
There has to be a shogun.
Oh,
There's
come
always
on.
been a shogun.
They would be so happy to have frickin' Kinemon and those guys just being the proxy rulers while Momonosuke is going to help change the world.
Aren't
It's
we
going
still
to be
on the
like
tangent
ancient
where we're
Japan.
going to lose each of them as this
I
arc
don't.
goes on?
I am not one of the ones who thinks that.
I think that.
I think we might lose some, but not all.
I think it's going to be like ancient Japan, and the samurais are all going to rule different parts of the country.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Until Momonosuke is ready to rule the country together.
That too.
Okay, but Momonosuke
Tama,
rules the country.
Tama and Momonosuke have, the meet cute on the Straw Hat ship while they go and find the One Piece, and then they're at the final war. And then they'll be hiding, and they'll be like, oh, so good, the Straw Hats.
I'll give you that it's a possibility. I don't see Momonosuke joining. Tama,
Anyway.
with language like that, I see it a bit more.
I also
No, of course.
think
And that just echoes back to just like the theme of the entire
And
anime
Ace
is
and
if you're not willing to put your life on the line,
right,
don't do anything.
you're probably not a protagonist.
and there probably has to be some sort of legacy that their ship is going to leave once they find One Piece, and it has to be a person.
Yeah.
I think.
I do like that Usopp it tells your big sis and uncle will protect you. Like, how am I an uncle? I'm only 19. Like,
But I still like that.
that's great. No, I love it. No, I love moments like this. I think it's so adorable.
Because Tama's over here like, I'm gonna give my life for this cause, and Nami's just over here like, we got you. Don't you frickin' worry about that.
Yeah.
Usopp, God. I know, but I'm still scared.
Lethal green star.
So sorry for making you worry,
4
Tama. I'll take
errors.
care of it. Get down lethal green star. Yep.
I do. I love all the new plants he always gets to work with.
Yeah.
I love me some new plants. And then lethal green star exploding
I just need my boy Usopp to use some more observation hockey, or at least make it clear that that's what he's doing.
Let's be clear. I think outside of Luffy and Sanji and Zoro, and Zoro's interesting in this because he seemed to show conquerors, right?
He seemed, yes.
Usopp seemed to show some observation hockey.
Yeah.
I really don't think we're going to get clear-cut answers. We're just going to get tidbits that maybe they're building those skills.
We're heading towards the final war.
I think we're a number of years away from the final war.
In real life, in the timing of the actual manga, anime, we are hurtling towards that moment.
Again,
Mark.
you have to
And
understand.
when we hit the final war, we need our boys, our Straw Hats, we need them at top form.
And I think we will have the top Straw Hats at top form. But but Usopp, he didn't train observation in the time skip, right? Zoro didn't train conquerors, probably the other two, same thing with Sanji. So I feel like that training...
I'm just saying I need to... Because how can you not know, after all the experience you've had with your crewmates, that what you did back on Dressrosa, where you made that almost impossible shot because you were able to see the very presence of the people, to see exactly where you needed to hit.
Yeah. And plus, I can totally see a month or two training session with his father, Yasop.
Yeah, when the Red Hair Pirates come through, for sure. Again, Van Augur is still more impressive than Usopp. When we first were introduced to him, there was just a bird flying over the Straw Hat ship, just taken out immediately from, and I think it was about 100 miles or so, Van Augur just on a roof going...
Well, they couldn't see him for sure. So.
Exactly. So, and that's pre-time... So, Usopp has to build an insane level of a power to, and if that's going to be his final, fight, right? Is Van Augur... And Van Augur's had all this time to train as well. So yeah, I think Yasop, I think observation hockey, I think there's a lot in Usopp's future. But I think for now, we just get those moments. Because Kobe, he unlocked his observation during Marineford, right? He was hearing all the voices, the screams. He was, frustrated and real messed up over it, right? That was what I think is very similar to Usopp, where he needed to make that shot. A lot of things were on the line for that shot. Otherwise, it was over, right, for Luffy. We would have all forgotten him if he'd been touched by... Sugar, right?
Yeah.
That would have been it. So, it's stress and an absolute necessity of the scene that brings those powers forward. Again, with Zoro cutting Kaido.
Now I'm thinking about it. It might make sense for them to visit the revolutionaries and then...
It's Luffy's dad, right?
Yeah, and start preparing and then train with the revolutionaries, maybe.
We have to find out what happened to Sabo.
Yeah.
And once we do, Luffy's definitely going to find out exactly what happened with Ace, right?
Yeah.
So
he's probably going to go to revolutionaries to figure out where.
Hey, Dad, I know I did this thing with Whitebeard where I tried to save my one brother, but can I take you guys all and go to the New Marineford in the New World and get Sabo back?
Well, the difference...
I won't fail this time.
The difference here...
I don't even know if that's even what is going to be the case.
No, I know. We have no idea what's going on.
I do believe that in this case the revolutionaries will get involved.
They have to.
Yeah, because I honestly believe that Dragon probably views Sabo as another son. It would not surprise me anyway. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know enough about him.
I completely agree.
But
with
he's
that.
basically raised him as a kid, and he's his second in command.
Yeah, just like Ace was the 2nd Division commander of Whitebeard.
Exactly. And
There's so many parallels here. I
think through Sabo we're gonna finally get some interaction with Luffy and Dragon, even if it's on the battlefield.
We'd like some, honestly.
What?
Go ahead.
Obviously, you already know who Sabo's dad was, but I just think it would have been so funny, and I think it's a missed opportunity that Oda didn't have the circle of just switching everybody's sons around. If Sabo was somehow Whitebeard's and he's working for the revolutionary.
Just mess with everyone.
Sabo and Whitebeard have the same hair when they were young, right?
I don't actually think.
No, I know, but Whitebeard was a blondie boy when he was young.
Yeah,
Sabo's a
Sabo was a
boy.
blondie short boy, whereas Whitebeard was a blondie long boy.
You're right. We have Weavile for, Whitebeard's son. That's what his kid looks like.
Actually, yeah. Screw that. Anyway,
mother
sorry.
is Crocodile.
We are way off topic.
But it was never confirmed that Sabo, let's just be clear, Sabo was born to that family. Like, he was their son, but we never got, people get adopted all the time, right?
Bastard children are a thing.
I don't know if there's more to Sabo than meets the eye.
Whitebeard screwed his biological mother, and she was married to...
He a pirate, bro.
Anyway, sorry.
I don't
Off topic.
Now we're on tinfoil hat stuff.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. Anyway.
Exploding, more lethal green stars, and,
Big Mom.
Oh...
Yeah, I was gonna say so.
Now you have a lot to say about this.
Usopp finally, gets a good hit off on page 1, gets him off the dog, but he's just still getting up. What's the deal with these dinosaur types? That long-nosed bastard. It sucks. We can't use a Kibidango on him just because he didn't need a smile.
Okay, now
that makes it seem like it doesn't affect any zone.
Let's talk about that for a second.
It needs to be specifically a smile, apparently. Which is weird. Does that imply that her power is itself a smile?
Maybe.
Because why on earth would that be a thing if it can only affect smiles?
There's two things I can think of for that. One, it's a smile. Her power is a smile. Or two, if you notice with the smile fruits, it's not so much that they become the beast themselves. It's like the animal becomes a part of them. And so it's almost as if...
So it's like she's taking...
So
she can take control of animals.
Right.
But not... So
because if you remember,
with a normal zone type.
There's still a person.
If you remember
There's still a person or whatever you were.
If you remember that horse at the beginning, she was having some serious problems following her orders at first.
The gazelle.
The gazelle, yeah. She was like... Okay, master. Wait, no, I follow orders from, she was going really back and forth. And then after a while, she finally settled down.
It's like the animal side and the human side were like...
So it might be a split.
Yeah.
So that actually kind of makes sense.
Where those that are actual normal Zoan types, when they transform back, they generally have full control.
It's generally a more natural process where
that makes sense. Now, can she control people without fruits at all?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So
I think he's right. I think it's animals, and because
when we first meet her, right, she pulls them off and feeds it to animals. Animals listen to her, right? Yep. So it makes sense that she can interact with the animal side of things, whereas natural.
Go ahead, James.
Has she fed a mink?
I haven't seen.
I don't think she got.
No,
but
minks
also, have we even seen?
Kaido.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't even see minks serving Kaido.
Maybe
why
Beppo
would
will get
they?
one.
We'll find out.
Where's Beppo at?
It would be interesting to see if Chopper.
Where is that damn Beppo?
Where is Beppo?
If it affects Chopper.
Where are the hired pirates
Mink.
at?
If it affects a chopper or mink, that's a good question.
Well, because they are more animals than people, aren't they?
But before we even have a chance to
even think about
that more, here comes Big Mom.
Kids, stop hiding.
It still confuses me when everybody says kid, because I'm like, what kid?
Well, it's just because I feel like with the scans, they just forget, because it's normally spelled with 2 Ds, right?
I think so.
So it's just been weird because the scans keep spelling it wrong.
Yeah.
Which is like, why?
Well, maybe she sees them as kids. I don't know.
No, it's literally she's yelling at kids.
You're right, but also maybe she's calling him a kid.
Yeah, she's calling him a kid. But oh god, it's Big Mom.
Big Moom.
Big Moom. And Usopp and Nami are just horrified.
That's gonna be funny. Animated.
And Tama over here looking like, what's going on?
Orin-chan!
Cat burglar and Longnose, you're straw hats.
Oh, she's gonna kill them.
I'm gonna murder you.
But
that face, man.
Orin-chan!
By the way, this is... I'm not gonna lie, I don't usually find kid characters cute.
Right.
I don't care. I don't usually care.
You just rather kick them.
Just kick them around. But then, when
Skyrim kids, yes.
But the way they presented in voice acted Tama in the anime, I just fell. She's adorable, and I was like, I want her as a niece, not a daughter. That's too much responsibility for me.
Sorry to Brock's nieces,
but I love my nieces. But I want.
Screw Brock's family. Am I right?
Hey, No, she's adorable and like
No,
I'm just excited.
No, don't get me wrong. Like I love
Every
this.
time she smiles or says something, it just melts my heart. And so I'm really excited to see this exchange, just because like who can say no to that?
It's so funny because you have like Big Mom's face immediately turns all like happy and like oh, good to see you. Prometheus's face.
No, Prometheus. So
so
those of
mad.
you who watched our theory video on Big Mom, the thing going on with Prometheus almost lends itself to my thought process that maybe somehow Mother Caramel is like an alternate personality within Big Mom after the eating accident, or maybe even somehow her soul is within Prometheus trying to control Big Mom, and it's just Prometheus almost seems like he's pulling the strings, dude. It's kind of weird. Because he's like not good. It's Mama's mothering mode. She sometimes gets like this around kids under 10.
Kids under 10. Thank goodness Tama's under 10. Otherwise, we'd have a dead Usopp and Nami on our hands.
Very much so. I was so worried about you, Lin. You vanished when we got to Udon. So what's going on, Otama? Are you two friends? And that's right. I was going to say Nami and Usopp weren't present for that.
No.
I forgot about this.
This is all new to them.
I want to thank you for looking after me back when I had amnesia.
Interesting that she remembers her amnesia.
She remembers all that. Wow, you got your memories
that's
back?
weird.
That's wonderful.
I just feel like amnesia is like if you...
I mean, I feel like they just added new memories
with most uses of amnesia, you always remember what happened to you when you had the amnesia, and then you gain everything else back in addition to.
So now there's that weird mix of like, this happened.
Oh, well, there was this nice thing that I was doing, and I was being a kind person, but also I have my memories back, and I'm a Yonko, so this place.
Except for you, Otama, you're so sweet.
Yeah, you're just so sweet.
Look at you.
I'll never forget the flavor of the Yoshiruku soup that Otsuru gave me in Okabura town. It was so tasty. And then I can't tell if this is like genuine or if Tama is just turning on the waterworks.
If this is manipulation.
If this is manipulation,
so
she is smart, but I doubt it, actually.
I doubt it.
No, I feel like this is so genuine.
This is genuine. And of course she looks like she's about to cry. Big Mom ponders, It's just that Okabure town is gone now. Gone. Everyone lied to protect the samurai and keep the raid a secret. The town was burnt to the ground because they said they ate all the stolen food.
And there's just a bunch of really
I'm not
sad
going to do all of the
there.
flashback
Big
voice
Mom gets
boxes,
angrier.
but yeah, she's
angrier.
getting angrier and angrier. So Kaido's underlings are responsible. They did to the town that showed me hospitality.
Page 1's back. Trying to fight more.
While she's contemplating this, the Dino Man's back. Page 1's chasing after. Leave us alone. We've already got enough on our plate. We got Big Mom over here, bro.
Yonko. And then, probably the most surprising part that literally threw me back in my chair having rereading this twice, three times.
It threw me for such a loop, and it threw Alex for such a loop. Because here it comes. Big Mom, great timing. Don't let those maggots get past you. From what I can tell, it looks like Tama's telling the dog to run. Too late, it's curtains for you. Yeah! You ingrates, the pirate world may be cruel, but there are... Excuse me, I had to burp there. But there are still standards, damn vermin.
Ooh.
She punches page
Hockey! It looks
Hockey.
like Conqueror's Hockey.
I was going to say...
it was definitely Conquerors.
It was Conquerors with armament.
I think he's dead.
He's not dead quite yet.
Dude, this is a Yonko.
But also, I just love that shot of him being smashed even further into the floor. Page 1, Summer!
All the stuttering.
And, yeah, right.
And then Kid
flashes over to Kid and to Zeus. So Kid
Mama.
says Big Mom must be back there. And Zeus says, oh, that was Mama. She's alive. Thank goodness. And poor Ulti.
Oh.
Pei, this is bad. This is bad, Ulti-sama.
Everyone's yelling at her. Well, so Ulti sees this. So what do you think Ulti does here? Is she going to go rage mode on Big Mom? Is she going to report to someone higher up? What does Ulti do here?
This is...
And let's be clear, Ulti has such a love for her older brother. Like, she absolutely, without a single doubt about herself, will do anything for him. She nearly killed Nami and Usopp for all that.
I would not be surprised if she did attack Big Mom.
I almost feel like she's going to headbutt her and the amnesia thing's going to happen again. No. Just because we're just doing so much clowning on Big Mom.
The only reason...
And her loyalties.
The only reason I think that is because you have this theme, especially among Yonko commanders of these two, of ambition and power. And, like, they're always looking for more power. Always looking to kill to get more power.
Yeah.
So, it wouldn't be surprising if they may have had dreams of ruling the Beast Pirates. So what's a Yonko that's not even a part of their crew? If they could somehow take out Big Mom, that's some serious power right there.
Yeah, well, but they can't, right?
They don't fucking know that.
I know, but you don't think OT, Page 1,
I don't think
both of them have a chance against Big Mom.
I don't think they could beat Big Mom.
They're having trouble with Usopp and Nami.
Let's be clear. They're having trouble with Usopp. Nami didn't do anything this chapter.
Yeah, let's give her something.
No, she absolutely could do. I mean, if she wanted to do something, she could. But, like...
Yeah. Problem is, neither of them are from
She must have really liked the soup. Now, is this a clowning? Burke, is this clowning on Big Mom, or is this not? Because I think her taking down one of the Flying Six...
Why don't we do our usual go-around and give each person a chance to get their
Sure, go ahead. So, I want to start with Burke, because I know he wants to talk about this. I know he does.
It is both clowning and not clowning at the same time. And I just, I like Kaido so much.
Sure.
I really do. Like, don't get me wrong. He's an asshole, and I can't wait for him to be beaten. But he has standards. Gosh dang it. Sure. Not to say that Big Mom clearly doesn't.
She's
got standards. And I agree with those standards, because, if somebody's going to offer you hospitality, you don't, fuck with them. But, I don't know. She just doesn't strike me as somebody who has the kind of standards that Kaido does, where Kaido literally executes an underling of his because they robbed him of his fight.
Right.
This just...
Does this seem within Big Mom's, like...
I don't know. That's the worst part.
It's hard because it just happened.
I don't understand Charlotte Linlin. I do not understand Charlotte Linlin as a character. I want to desperately.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't understand her because we think she is one person.
No, for sure. If our theory from last week is that she has a split personality that is the Mother Caramel personality versus the sweet little Lin that possibly just has been being suppressed ever since she accidentally ate Mother Caramel. Yeah. Who knows?
Possible.
That is a possibility.
But she also ate a whole bunch of other people in that scenario, that situation.
Yeah, but none of them had the soul fruit except for Mother Caramel.
The reason saying is that Caramel actually interacts with the soul being inside of Big Mom, whereas the kids, that's just tragic and
they're just dead. Sorry,
that's really
sucks.
messed up. Which is probably if this
did
whole...
Did she eat Caramel first or left?
I have no idea.
Who knows?
We just know she ate everyone at the table and they were all gone and she was sad and her friends were all gone.
A horrible implication in that moment. But my whole thought right now is I would like Lin to just be a villain at this point. The amnesia subplot I originally hated, but eventually it got to a place where I was totally fine with it, and then obviously it led to them teaming up for this whole thing.
Yeah.
I want Charlotte to be a villain. And right now, the reason I feel it's almost clowning is...
Something keeps happening.
Something keeps happening to make it so she won't
go all out.
So this kind of goes to, like, say, we're in Ryan's campaign.
Sure.
Where in our D&D campaign, the strongest person in the room always would try and kill the weakest person.
Yeah.
it seems like something always happens with Lin when she's near Chopper or Usopp or Nami.
The clowning characters.
The clowning characters on
the weakling trio.
Not to say that they aren't strong in their own ways, but up against the captain of the Big Mom Pirates.
Big Mom herself.
Like, Big Mom is not treating them seriously, so she's letting her guard down.
Well, she's not even...
no, it's not even that she's not treating them seriously.
The situation ever lets her.
It's literally like the situation is writing itself to make her not treat them seriously. And that frustrates me because... When like literally I was the most afraid of Big Mom the first moment she was introduced back, like when we actually saw her silhouette back on Fishman Island, and Luffy is basically like beginning his career as a future Yonko by saying, Fishman Island's my territory, come at me, bitch.
Right.
Like, that was horrifying.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, it's a complicated thing where I'm like, good. She's not killing Usopp and Nami, and hey, she has some standards, and like, awesome, she just took out page 1 in like one punch. Yeah. That's cool stuff. But the overall situation hurts me just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I won't love what happens as a result of this. Yeah. It's just from where we're at. Obviously, we were on break next week. Ugh. I hope I get some resolution to some of the things I'm feeling about this chapter by then. But right now, it just strikes me as more clowning on Big Mom, and it's just frustrating because it keeps happening. That's my thought.
Yeah.
So,
Briggity Brock.
I'm of the... sorry, I'm going to probably be going all over the place with this.
That's fine.
Whatever.
I went all over the place.
So, let me collect my thoughts.
No worries. It's late for us.
So
here.
it was definitely surprising to me. Like, normally I just go with the flow and I'm like, whoa, that's awesome.
Oh,
I let the story take me, and it really wasn't too different this time, but it did surprise me. It did throw me for a loop. But I kind of went in a different direction. I found myself not actually surprised by her doing this. And the reason for that is the more we see of the Yonko, the more we see that as twisted as they can be, there's always some kind of code there. And a theme, so to speak. With Kaido, it's more of a warrior's theme. With Big Mom, who fashions herself after a mother and a person of hospitality, it's about food and taking care of the guests, albeit in a twisted way. If you think back to Whole Cake Island, Big Mom, she was she wasn't afraid of backstab, but when you were her guest, she treated you right as long as you followed the rules.
She was going to give you the nicest food, and then after the party, she was going to backstab you, basically.
She it almost seemed like, and I think this comes into play, it wasn't so much that the Oshiruko was important, I think it was the hospitality that was important. Because to be fair, we've never seen her in that sort of situation. Mm-hmm. We've never seen her receive the kindness of others. And so I think, and a lot of times in her backstory, she was always very grateful to receive food. And it wouldn't be surprising to me to see if, to her, food is the greatest form of hospitality.
Right.
And so I think...
it's almost a form of love in that.
Yeah, case. And hell, her entire country is based around food. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's more than just the Oshiruko. I think it's a fact that they gave her food that they didn't have. Well,
not only that, but in a moment of like...
weakness.
Not even weakness, just... They could have taken full advantage of her in her lack of memory. Because I wouldn't call it weakness. She probably could have... we saw it later when she goes to Udon. She could fight if so necessary.
Right.
But nobody was trying to take advantage of the fact that she was Big Mom and she didn't have her memories.
And also, I think we haven't actually seen her really interact with kids that are super young. Like, she treats them crappy when they're older, but it'd almost be like she... And this is actually...
her kids crappy, let's be clear.
When they're older.
Yeah.
But you got this is also another common thing.
What is her youngest child?
No, there's some nieces and nephews she has. Well, no, she actually has some little...
What is the age of her youngest child?
I can't remember.
There were no babies at Whole Cake, but there were some very maybe 4 or 5 year olds running around that were hers.
But we never really see her interact with them.
They run out of her room and she says hello to them at one point, but she doesn't seem to treat them. She
doesn't treat them. Yeah,
they're not commanders. They're like.
I do believe she might have that so-called almost weakness.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Real quick, you see this in anime a lot too, where especially if it's someone as emotionally unbalanced as Big Mom, because we can all agree that given her backstory, what she's gone through. It would not be weird to think that she has a lot of emotional issues.
Oh yeah,
but that could also, due to her background and the hospitality, she almost has a connection to people of a certain age, which is why she would treat Tama so. And then combine that with the fact that she was treated with the probably what she considers the most highest form of hospitality, which is to give your food to someone. It would not surprise me if that, because this is something I've thought about too. This is a weird connection to make, I know, but Luffy would do the exact same thing. If he and this is kind of what I see with all the really strong pirates is, no matter if they're on the good or the bad side, there's always some kind of code they follow. Some kind of thing that will piss them off, even if they're in this kind of situation. It's like, if you do that, they're going to get the revenge even in the midst of that. Like, if Law had hurt someone Luffy was thankful to while they're in their alliance, he would fall all over it. You can bet your ass.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm thinking this isn't so weird, because I think there's almost sort of a similarity in codes among the big pirates.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say because this just happened and there's nothing else with it. But I would venture to say that this isn't so weird with Big Mom. And this isn't taking into account that maybe she's got another person inside her. I personally don't subscribe to that.
Sure.
But I can see why.
I
can see why it would make sense.
It's a possibility.
I can see why it would make sense.
Yeah.
But also, she's also just really emotionally unstable, and it wouldn't be weird for her to go back and forth like that. And I think that why that might be construed as clowning is because she's just so unstable. Kaido, he's very simple. He's down to earth. He knows what he wants. Big Mom, she's based her entire life on basically an illusion, a dream of her own making. And so it wouldn't be weird for her to take a while to get to that point that we want her to be. And I think in its own way makes her a lot more deep than we were expecting. Which is why it's so hard to just pin her as just a villain. Yeah. Because she has so much to her inside that it's just like, where's the real Lin?
I mean, and let's be clear. Her islands and her territories, outside of Fishman Island, like the Whole Cake Islands, outside of her losing her mind to her hunger pangs and destroying things and stealing souls and just being a terror on her society, it's a very happy place otherwise.
Yeah.
With a very basic rule of you give life, you stay here, and if you don't give life, you leave, right?
Yeah.
And so she does run a pretty tight-knit, well-thought-out, seemingly good country. And so, the first time that we see an example of cruel and unnecessary torture and destruction of people who were kind to her, who were living in a poor but kind place that showed her grace, right? And she saw the absolute lack of standards, right? You can understand how, as a ruler of a place that works well and has very specific rules, and she would never do that willingly to them, right? I can understand the backlash,
and also
towards the oppressors of them.
Going back onto my when her having a code, it also just occurred to me that despite her seemingly backstabbing nature, she seems like a woman of her word.
She backstabs
because she backstabs when that's
people
the
who
plan.
Could be potential.
I like what I'm thinking of the most is the deal with Luffy, because here's the thing with that. That was actually the fisherman's fault in that case, because they had a deal with Big Mom,
right?
But they gave all their candy to the Straw Hats, right. So it was their fault that they didn't have the. I mean, it's tyrannical, but that was the deal they had with Big Mom for her protection, and so the fact that she kept her,
Luffy put himself as the sacrificial lamb for that.
Well, and also but the fact that she kept her promise to not go after Fishman Island and just focus on Luffy means something to me, because I don't think it would be out of the pale for her to just send an envoy down there to just take him out or whatever.
Right.
But she didn't do that. She's like, fine. I'll focus on you.
She got mad at the person who ruined the deal.
And she kept to her word. So I do think she's a woman of her word to an extent when it's not in the plan to deceive. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I think ultimately she just hasn't found. I don't know what her final opponent in Wano is.
Yeah.
And
It's
I think that
still
the clowning that we're seeing is just her continuously going through this complicated maze that Oda's spreading out for her to get there. I think at the end of that, when she finally faces the person she's meant to face, we'll all go, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I don't think she'll ever not be Luffy's enemy.
Yeah, but right now Luffy has the other Yonko to deal with, one-on-one. Big Mom can't be there because Luffy wouldn't win.
No, not against two of them.
So this, and maybe it's Kid, right? Maybe it's Kid and Zeus. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't. But knocking down Page 1, maybe ultimately knocking down Ulti, if she rushes at her, right? That opens up Nami, Tama, Usopp to go off and do whatever they're doing, right? Which moves more of the war to Luffy's side, which, is just, that seems to be the way this has to go. Right now, she's really mad. Kaido, I don't think that lasts long. Maybe just those two. I don't see her taking out more than them. I don't think King or Queen. No, I think another Queen battle would be kind of funny, though, this time with her memories. Would be good, but no, I don't know what the end game for Big Mom and Wano is. It's not really her arc.
What do you think, James?
I think that if Big Mom keeps on this tangent, she's going to just accelerate Kaido's defeat. And if she does that, she's probably just doing that to help get rid of an opponent.
Do you think she ultimately started all of this with the intention of betraying Kaido? Or do you think this has actually flipped a switch and now she's not a huge
She's
fan?
always been going to betray Kaido because how else is she going to go in the ranks other than getting Kaido out of the way?
Two people can't have the One Piece, right?
Yeah. And
that we know of.
Well, I don't think you can't share the title of Pirate King.
No.
And Kaido had the Poneglyph knowledge, and I'm pretty sure, I think he shared that with her when they made that pact, I think.
I would assume so.
Maybe.
And then,
or was going to before this all set out.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff when they made that pact kind of happened pretty quick.
Yeah, but maybe she got what she needed. And is going to, because I definitely see that she was just looking for an opportunity to weaken her greatest opponent right now, which is Kaido.
Fair.
Maybe she thinks that
it's just her.
Yeah.
So
she doesn't need
whatever
she doesn't need her crew, and she clearly hasn't needed it this whole time.
So she can do whatever she needs to do and not really have it affect her paradise.
Yeah, I think Page 1 is done, though.
Yeah.
Personally. I will be amazed if he gets up from a hit like that from a Yonko. That does not look like she's holding back. That looks like... So, yeah.
It looks as powerful as the attack that Luffy and Kaido just did against each other.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Literally same energy.
So.
But, yeah. Then it all ends with new chapter next week. Break next week.
Darn it.
So we will have another type of video for you this coming weekend, and then we will get into chapter 10-12 after that. Final thoughts, anyone, on this incredibly awesome but interesting and wildly crazy chapter?
I know I had a lot to say about Big Mom, but ultimately it was a good chapter.
Oh, very good chapter. Oda's doing
I'd say my only complaint is the lack of Foxy.
All right.
Obviously, he sells the series. Let's just get on this, all right? Let's jump on this train.
Let's
People in the comments.
We're going
Foxy Silver Fox
out
is the true main
now.
character. And he is also Luffy's father.
We're cutting it out. We'll see you next time.
I'm cutting this out.
It's all getting cut out. No! All right, viewers, that concludes this episode of the Yonko Podcast. Let us know what your thoughts of the chapter were in the comments. We're excited to hear y'all's takes. What's up with Big Mom? She clowning or what? How powerful is Tama's fruit? Can she quell a dragon? Let us know. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you all in 2 weeks for our review of Chapter 10-12. We're off, boys. Till next time.